Okay, so it's just gonna be a quick video tutorial per se about how to connect the Quadstick to the Nintendo Switch when you get it. So with everything, you have to actually make one specifically for your profile, and it's you can't just be like the PS4 where you can just boot into the Nintendo Switch. No, you have to actually have a file for it. There's two ways you can do this. You can get the Nintendo Switch file that's default into the Quadstick Manager program and just download into your Quadstick. But just like what I do, I kind of make my own personal ones. And this is a great template for it. So you just edit it. Make sure you're logged into your own Gmail account. You can access your own Google Drive. And the reason is, because I want to edit it myself. There's a special thing in Preferences. Right here on Preferences tab on line 5. Enabled DS3 emulation. It's set to 5. And if you read on the right side, 0 means the Quadstick is normal, and then so on and so forth. So from DS3 emulation, X360E, I don't use it. I use this one a lot. 3 for Xbox 360 emulation mode. 4 is PS4, and then 5 is Nintendo Switch. So as long as you have this line on your profile that you want it to have it on specifically, it should boot as a Nintendo Switch controller. And you can always make your own by making a copy and then messing with it. I have already, which is, here's mine. On the bottom, I have default left. Then I have Smash, Mario Kart, Octopath, Mario and Rabbit, my number 9. And Kirby's Star Ally. Keynote is that in the Quadstick Manager, you can use it on firmware 1967, but if you want motion control, like I guess for Mario Party on the Switch, then you would need, I guess, a newer firmware, which is firmware 2058. But every single game I just mentioned on here doesn't need motion control. So I'm not gonna mess with it until I need it, but keeping it simple. Anyway, you will download it to your Quadstick and then just straight connect it to the USB dock on the Nintendo Switch and you should be good. Keynote is the Nintendo Switch tends to turn off on its own after a minute if no other control is being pressed to acknowledge that it's on. So it will turn off on its own. So you have a minute of time, a time window to go into the mode selected for Nintendo Switch. Wait for the Quadstick to reboot fully so it doesn't have any bugs, glitches on it. All right, so you get the gist, and here's an example how to connect it. All right, so what you're gonna do is turn on your Nintendo Switch. You might need help with this one, and you have 1 minute of a time window to load your Quadstick fully without touching it, and then switch profiles and wait for it to reboot. It should take about 30 seconds, so you still have plenty of time. Alright, so once you connected, you technically have, oh man, it turned off. That's fine, leave it connected, just turn on the Switch again. See, what happens was when it turns off, the Quadstick is just going to reboot continuously in a loop. So if that happens, just turn back on the Switch again with help. Wait till your Quadstick loads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch to your Quadstick Nintendo Switch profile. Wait for it to boot, and there you go. I'm moving it. And for verifying that, controllers actually it shows on the bottom. So here's the controller, and all I gotta do is move. It accepts it, and then I can go on and playing some Smash.